Yes, we're reviewing white girl music. Cat from Victorious, a very popular singer, one that's very loved, number like something in the world right now. And guess what? She dropped a new album after almost 4 years called Eternal Sunshine. A very creative name. Ariana is a very interesting artist for me because for me, it was never like I became a fan of her music. I always was just watching what she was doing in her career, really. It started back in like the early 2010s when Victorious came out and she was playing a character Cat. And for me, she was like my top three characters back then. I think my top three was Cat, the bad bitch, and the puppet. After that, in like 2013, there was this show called Sam and Cat, which I fucking loved. Two of my favorite like Dan Schneider shows put into one. It was great. I loved the dynamic they had. There was also the fucking kid. What was his name? Die. And then in 2014, I started hearing on the radio singles off of this record, My Everything. When the music of this record, the singles came out, I really loved them. I thought they were really good. Anytime they play on the radio as a kid, I just loved listening to them. I really enjoyed it. And as the years went on, it was kind of just like I would just naturally becoming a fan of Aria's music. Anytime she dropped a new single, I just liked it. When Dangerous Woman came out, the singles like Into You, Be Alright, I like those tracks. Dangerous Woman. Sweetener came out, obviously God is a Woman, fire track. Thank You Next, where I loved Seven Rings and the title track. These were incredible. This is one of my favorite albums still. I fucking love this record. Ghosting is Ariana's best song ever. I actually did not hear much of Positions at all. I think 34 plus 35 was on the radar, but I didn't hear anything else of this record, so I don't have much memories of it. And yeah, anytime she dropped a single, I just liked the single, so I just naturally just liked her music in general. This is like one of my first iPods here. Look, you can see Ariana Grande. One Last Time is right there. This iPod is such an interesting. This is back when this is before I had my own music taste. Before this, before 2023, the only thing I really listened to was pop, dance, and electronic, which is really bad. Basically, I used my iPod as just like a radio player with a lot of songs that just have not aged well at all. After that, I decided to listen to her whole discography. The first full album I listened to was Thank You Next. The genres she put in this album were incredible. There was soul, there was trap, there was pop, there was electro pop, there was R&B. There was so much genres and they all cultivated very well, and the beats all just suited her voice perfectly. Again, songs like Needy, Ghosting, like Bad Idea. Bad Idea used to be one of my least favorite tracks. One of my favorites now. Thank You Next is iconic. I love this record. It's good. And then I listened to the rest of her discography. This one good, but the first half is boring. This one used to be my second favorite. Just bangers. I like it. Fire tracks really, but also kind of just like H&M music. That's still good. And then this was just her debut album, which is kind of weird because no one talks about it for a reason. It's just kind of it's good, but it's just kind of there. I know that with like talk about music like this isn't really cool because the people who would listen to this would usually be annoying girls or gay boys, and I'm neither of those. But you know what? Again, I just like her music. I think Ariana is one of the best, if not the best, female artists, probably. Then again, there's not much competition. Like, who the fuck is that? Taylor Swift? Her music is ass. There's a video of someone showing that she literally uses the same piano chord progressions in like 10 different songs on like different albums. It's fucking terrible. In terms of female pop artists, these are the only three that I actually like enjoy listening to: Charlie, Dua, and Ariana. And that's mainly because they're actually like unique. All these three artists, they actually have like a sound to them. They actually have their own unique thing. But as other artists, they just kind of have like pop rock, teen pop, or like just fucking shit. But anyway, back to Ariana. No, my vinyl. This is actually a sick background. I should use my vinyls as a background for now on. Alright, a few months ago, guess what? This came out. Yes, and her newest single. I wish that singles came in an actual like jewel case like this, even if it's like extremely thin and weird. These paper stuff is just not. It's just not it. When this single came out, I was hyper as fuck. I really liked it. It's a mix of house and dance pop. It's a banger. It's just fun to listen to. I liked it. Listening to this single made me think, oh, okay, we're gonna get a dance house record because probably every song on the record is gonna sound like this. There was no song that sounded like this. And then over time, the track list kept getting revealed. True Story was revealed, which was big. It was like a leaked song for like 2021 or whatever, which led us to this. I did not want this cover. The cover one fucking sold out. Eternal Sunshine by Cat. Whoa. If you want to know my thoughts on this record immediately, incredible. Let's elaborate. Diving into this record, first of all, it would have been really interesting if Kanye dropped Vultures 2, because it would have been this record versus his record, and these are both some of my favorite artists. So it would have been fun to like see who actually made the better record. Clearly Kanye cannot even drop in March, but going into this again, I thought it would just sound like this record. And thinking about it, yeah, this is a mix of like a lot of shit. I didn't really hear the Sweetener, but then again, I don't listen to Sweetener that much. But whatever happened, I don't know what happened, but this record is incredible. It starts off really smooth with the first intro track. This is my favorite Ariana intro track because I don't listen to the other ones. The way the backing vocals just comes in at the beginning, it's just so beautiful to listen to. And then the lyrics itself, again, because it's pop, it's very simple, like love lyrics, whatever. I didn't come to this record for lyrics. I came for Ariana's performance, her voice, and the production. I don't care about the lyrics. I'm not I'm not bothered about it. I don't care about that. But it's just such a smooth, warm opening to the album, which I just adore. I unironically just play it by itself sometimes because of how it's just great. And then Bye is a banger. Bye is one of those tracks where it has like a greedy from Dangerous Woman, where it's just like a complete just dance pop song, fucking just this crazy production. I love that shit. It is amazing. It's when I first heard it, I was like blown away. The one thing about this album, the production is incredible. I don't know who produced this album. I didn't research. This is a second channel. I'm not fucking researching. Whoever produced like this album did a remarkable job. This sounds incredible. Is mixed amazingly. It's so good. I know it has to speak about Ariana's performance for most of this record, but I guess it is a review. Obviously she did great here on this. It was again just amazing. After that was Don't Wanna Break Up Again, which was a cool track. I really enjoyed it. It gets better as it goes on. It's really calming, relaxing. Again, the best part about any Ariana Grande album, it really is her voice. I feel like, I see the human voice in music as just another instrument to what's already there. You know, it's just like an extra layer, the cherry on top. That's why when you listen to an instrumental, sometimes it just feels like something is missing because the human voice is just so important to music. If this album was just pure instrumental, I would have still probably liked it, but her voice is just angelic. You know? There's not much like it out there. I think the chorus is very addictive as well. I always have it playing in my head sometimes. It's nice. Again, most of this is just vocal performance and production. The two main key elements of a song, really, just bread and butter, perfect. Let's just go through. I don't want this video to be that long. I don't know how much to like. I don't want to do like a track by track review. Most tracks, I can say the same thing. The production and vocals are great. But Eternal Sunshine, people have been talking about like, I hope you're right when you're in her. That's something. Supernatural was really good. True Story, I listened to the original leaked version and the new one. The new one is better, obviously, but not by much, really. That Boy Is Mine has that Bye vibe, but the Bye vibe. But it is way more energetic. I like the way more energetic, way more like out there songs on this record, way more louder ones, as per usual for most music, really. People online were saying that Yes and was the worst track on this album. I don't think it's the worst. I think it's the worst out of place, which I guess is the reason why you call it the worst. I still think it's like still top 3 for me though, in my honest opinion. We Can't Be Friends was the one that got the music video. If you don't know, this record is like based off like a movie or something. It's a really good track. Again, really well produced and really well sung, but I wouldn't really play it at all in my free time. The last 3 songs are really nice. Like, I keep saying the same word, but this album is it's either very hyper or just very calm, you know what I mean? But again, her delivery of this, I wish I hated you. Just the way she said it, like so bluntly, but so softly as well. It's just interesting to me. I'm always under my head to Imperfect For You, great track. And then Ordinary Things is also, again, it's banger. If I had to describe this album, it's simply amazing. And I use keyword simply. If I'm being honest with you, it's a 10 out of 10. But you know what DJ Amossi told me? There's different levels of 10 out of 10. We have the low tier 10 out of 10, where it's a record that is simply just great. There's no issues with it. Every song bangs. There's great production. There's no real flaws with the record. It's just simply a 10 out of 10, but nothing more than that. Then there's the mid tier 10 out of 10, where again it's like the first tier, but you feel like the record, it could have had more to it. It could have had you feel like it could have been even greater. You know, you ever listen to a record and like, yeah, this is great, but I feel like there's something missing. There could be something even greater about it. In this case, more tracks. And finally, level 3. Guess what I'm gonna use? Hey, look, let's say I use fucking T-Pab. Level 3 out of 10, where you can literally describe it as peak music. Like, damn near beyond perfect. It's beyond perfect. And for me, Eternal Sunshine is a level 1 10 out of 10. Just like Thank You Next. It's a simply great record. There's no real flaws with it, in my opinion, and is overall just a fun listen. I listen to this album a lot. I feel like maybe because it's just new, but as I'm recording this, it's been a little over a week since this came out. But genuinely, because of how this album is only like 33 minutes, like a little over half an hour, it's very short. And because of that, I always just find myself listening to it, whether it be at home or in college. Because usually I'll do this where, oh, if there's like 30 minutes left for me to do something or an hour, I'm just gonna play something like a YouTube video or an album in the background. And because the album goes so quickly, it flows perfectly, I would just be done an hour. Examples I would use is Tyler's last 3 records are good examples of this. They're all around 40 minutes in length, but they go by very quickly. The Weeknd also is good for this, in my opinion, and more that we can go on all day about. And that's just this record. If there's 30 minutes for me to do something, I'm just gonna play it. And again, this album flows incredibly because of the sound of this album. It stays the same basically all throughout, except for like 1 or 2 songs. It just kind of perfectly flows between each track, and that's what I really like about an album. I love when an album, every song just is point A to point B. Like there's no like noticeable like change, but it's still interesting. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say about this record. Again, perfect record, simply perfect record. If you haven't listened to it because you're like, oh, it's white girl music, and I have to be cool and listen to hip hop all day. I listen to Playboy Cardi non-stop, and I will keep listening to it forever. Yeah, I get it though. If you don't like pop music, then fuck it, don't bother. But hey, I liked it. I think it's good. Give it a try. You know, who knows? You might like at least one song off it. Yo, does Playboy Cardi have CDs?